Hey everyone, welcome back to Vote and Voice. I'm your host, Connor, and today we're talking about a topic that's everywhere these days, and that is immigration and how it intersects with identity. Now, I want to be upfront. This is quite a sensitive topic, and there's no single right way to think about it. But it's also super important because debates about immigration are reshaping political movements, elections, and the way people think about who belongs in a country. So let's start simple. Why does immigration become such a heated political issue and what makes it so dividing? And why does it feel like people should belong on policy itself? And so part of it has to do with identity, as people don't just vote based on like economics or policy, but based on emotions or the fear that nativism is declining, and they vote based on who they feel they are and who they think we are as a community or a nation. Immigration challenges that sense of identity. Suddenly, questions like who is part of our society and who gets to have a say become political debates. Let's look at some real world examples. You got in Germany, the 2015 refugee crisis pushed over 1 million refugees into the country. For some Germans, this was an opportunity to show solidarity, provide safety, and welcome new people into their communities. But for others, it created fear about cultural change, economic pressure, and security. That divide fueled the rise of the Alternative for Germany, also known as the AfD party, which positioned itself as defending German identity or white national identities against rapid change. And in the United States, immigration has long been political, but debates intensified in the 2010s as policies at the southern border, such as DACA, deferred action for childhood arrivals, and changes in refugee admissions became symbolic of who belongs in America, and people's reactions often aligned with their broader political identities. Who you vote for, what media you follow, even which social circles you belong to. France is another interesting case, as leaders like Marine Le Pen have tapped into concerns about immigration and national identity to build political support. She frames immigration not just as a policy issue, but as a question of France for the French, appealing to voters who feel culturally or economically threatened by change. But here's the thing we may find curious is think about it with me, as immigration is usually a slow, gradual process. Yet the reactions politically have often been immediate, emotional, and highly polarized. Why does something that happens over years feel like a sudden crisis for many people? Is it media coverage, social networks, political messaging, or something deeper about humans' perceived change? Another aspect is how leaders frame the debate, as we have populist leaders who often present immigration as a problem created by elites or disconnected institutions. But suddenly, immigration is no longer just about visas or border control, but it's about protecting the people from forces that are allegedly out of touch. But let's not forget the human side, as immigration is about real people moving, adapting, working, and contributing to societies. And many cases, immigrants can be filling jobs or starting businesses and enriching local cultures. Yet there are political debates that are often overlooked these stories in favor of abstract numbers or identity narratives. So what's the takeaway from this? So the immigration debates are complicated because they intersect with identity, economics, and political messaging. They are about policy, yes, but they're also about culture, fear, belonging, and sometimes nostalgia for a past that they may not have existed the way people imagine. As we explore in this session, we'll see how immigration connects to broader trends like populism, polarization, and institutional trust. And we'll keep asking the same questions. Why do certain political issues feel so personal, and how do they shape the way societies function? Thanks for listening to Vote and Voice. I hope this episode gives you a few things to think about and maybe even makes you wonder what stories about immigration are missing from our political conversations.